Hello, Star Wars unboxing fans, and welcome to another episode of Darth Tuba's Star Wars Unboxing Show. I'm your host, Darth Tuba. Just going to give a short update today on my R2 build, my fan home R2 build. I decided not to film this one. I started to film it, but I was having some issues, some difficulty, and it kind of, if you've been watching the channel on this, you'll know that I've been having a couple of issues with this in that they don't always send me the correct, consecutive instruction. Each month it's supposed to be a little booklet, which issue number 1, then issue number 2, and they seem to when they got into the teens, they seemed to skip a few. They did apologize, and they did keep track of it accurately on their website. I was able to go log in and check to see which art issues I had and which pieces I had, but unfortunately it does mean that it's a lot of start and stop, that kind of thing. At present, I think I'm short one issue. I think I don't have issue 34, and I did have 35 and 36. So there's, I'm still able to do some of it. I'll kind of walk you through where we are right now. So starting right here with this guy, the dome is pretty much complete in terms of the skeletal part of it anyway. And it's looking good. It's a little bit, as I've mentioned on it, this is pretty, I would imagine this is a very beginner level, but beginner with supervision. As an adult, I can tell you that, I struggled with this a little bit. The good news is I didn't struggle with it in ways that were so impossible for me to go back and try to fix. So that was helpful. So that, you can make mistakes and then go back. I have found some online resources that are actually a little bit more helpful, and having them along with the magazine instructions have been pretty good. So the other thing that matters with it, now this is just a stand that you can put R2 on. This is my washing machine, but I'm just going to leave that there for now. The other thing that is interesting about this is that they don't, and I've said this in the past, they don't just send you one per month. They'll go a few months and then send you 4 or 5. Which I guess in some ways is nice, because some of the articles, and the articles are fantastic. Like I said, the magazines are divided up into behind the scenes of making of Star Wars, kind of like going through the procedure from Star Wars. Now I'm up to Empire, so I just think that they kind of give you a little tidbits of the making of, and maybe some stories that you not have heard. If you've read a lot of behind the scenes, you might already know a lot of it, but I think there were some things I've kept up with a lot of stuff, and there's still some pretty cool factoids I didn't know. So that's one part. Then the other part is kind of an in-world universe defining of different types of droids and the companies that make them and that kind of thing, and where you've seen them in places like the Clone Wars or on Tatooine or in the Death Star or whomever, and that's pretty cool too. And then there's a real world area just about robotics in general and electronics and coding and computers, and definitely a good thing for somebody who's just for young kids that are learning about science and robotics and STEM and things of that nature. But even just people like me. I mean, I was an artist and musician my whole life. Science was never my forte, so it's kind of cool to be able to kind of dip back into this. So we also, the last 2 articles or magazines, we were able to complete R2's, I believe it's his right arm. Well, I just noticed that I have to fix something down here. So I will work on that when I'm done recording. Yes, pretty much. I think I just need to screw that one in a little bit. Did I not do that? I might have to check. So, but it's overall pretty good. The cabling was a bit of a chore. I may have made an error in that I have a lot more sticking out here, which could pose a challenge later, but it just, it's hard to find that perfect middle ground. So, and then the only other thing that's new, we have this, which I didn't even realize that R2 comes with. Apparently he's going to have a lightsaber spring, so that's cool. That'll be a neat effect. And some Pro Logic that does work, and we're now starting to get the first few pieces for his left arm, so that is pretty darn cool. All right, so that's the R2, and now there's some lighting and some battery packs and things, and I've tested everything, and so far so good. So we'll see where we go with this. All right, let me show you another project I'm working on. Now, I ordered a character from Trash Compactor, and you can hopefully you can do a screenshot here and be able to access their shop. I believe that's their Etsy shop, maybe some other things. With your phone for all the links and more via Linktree. Okay, cool. And they gave me a little sticker, Trash Compactor, Star Works, I like that. And this character. And maybe you don't know this character, or maybe you do. Well, it's gonna fall apart, so I have to be careful. I only have him temporarily. Like, this is, believe it or not, Jabba the Hutt. Or at least, this is what Jabba the Hutt looked like in the very early 1970s, or mid-1970s, when George Lucas shot the scene with Jabba the Hutt and Han Solo. This is what Jabba looked like. It was always his intention to replace him with a some kind of I don't think they were thinking CGI back then. I think it was more in line with thinking about replacing him with like a stop motion character or something of that nature. So, but if you can look, there's footage you can find on different websites. I'm sure on YouTube now you can find it. You see the footage. It's just now it's on the special edition when Jabba's talking to Han and Han steps on his tail and that kind of thing. But there was this Irish actor named Declan Mulholland, I believe, and he put on a costume and he was Jabba. So, Trash Compactor made a figure of the original Jabba the Hutt. So, at some point, I am going to try painting it. I don't know if I'm going to do it right now. I got a lot going on, but it is on the docket. So, I just kind of wanted to give you project updates, and this is a new one. It's not I'm trying to keep it, what I like about Trash Compactor is that, and a few other, I like the customized sites that focus their energies on retro style, because retro style is a lot easier to paint. So I just got to get a few screenshots of this character. It's mostly browns and blacks and earth tones and of course skin color and stuff. And then I got to try to figure out how to paint him. Never really done a figure like this before, but hey, it's always a first time. Let's give it a shot. All right, so I'll give you an update on this at a later date. All right, and let's see what else we got going on. All right, and lastly, on our projects, we have a whole heap and load of action figures that I have been purchasing little at a time over the last couple of weeks. These aren't even all of them. There's a bunch that are kind of in that room. There's a bunch over here. And in that, you can see a bunch of Imperial soldiers there and behind. In that box, there's a whole box full of other ones. And also a couple of weapons, a couple of accessories. So what I'm decided I'm trying to do now is, well, first of all, I'm trying to clean these figures, which I've done, okay? And, they do, taking away some of the grime from them. I mean, you can tell that some of these figures still have, a lot of faded, chipped paint. So, they're not going to be considered mint figures by any means. But, like I said, I've been collecting figures for a couple of reasons. I have a one of every figure from my childhood, and then a couple of other extra ones that I've bought over the years. But I have 3 reasons to do this. Number 1 is that I want to have extras in army building, like things like droids and, characters like this, like the AT-ST driver, stormtroopers, X-Wing pilots, Imperial officers, so that I can army build. But I also want to do a little bit of customization. So like I have I have to do some painting on this guy. I'm going to do some repainting on these guys. I want to have a bunch of calamari officers that can do their, that can kind of fill my armies. And I also, in addition, it's kind of a part of customization, I want to do some coloration here. Like, for example, I have some chrome markers. I might want to make this into a TC-14. It's a very loosey-goosey 3PO, so I might do that. I might want to make this guy gold or maybe another color. You know, this is just strictly for customization. We've got some broken figures here that I'm going to try to track down. If I can track down an ATST driver, I have two, one with no left foot and one with a broken left foot. If I can find one with no right foot but a working left foot, or two preferably, then I'll do that. Or if I can find another figure that has a similar thing, just different paint scheme or whatever, I'll take a look at that too. So a lot of little projects on the list. I'm excited about it. Got this guy. Yeah, he's lost his head, but I do have it. Here it is. And I've watched a show called Toy Polloi. You can look for them. And I've been able to literally, here's another one whose head's broken. And you can see that it's not 100% perfect, but I was able to get some Lego pieces like this to use to kind of, you know, conjoin the two, the body and the head. So, and then the other thing I'm going to start doing is taking the, see, I've already started collecting some weapons. I'm going to start aligning some weapons with some figures, and if it's a decent looking figure with a decent weapon, I'm going to baggy those up and maybe put them out for sale at the Star Wars sale, June 26th, 7th, 8th, and 9th, and of this year, and you know, so I can get some vintage figures out there for sale that are complete, if somewhat beatery. You know, but I'm excited about it. So those are the projects I got going on right now. Oh, but last thing I'm going to do, this is an unboxing channel after all, so we do have one more box that came in. I think this is primarily some weaponry, okay? And you can see part of that weaponry is a Bush helmet, a Bush blaster, and a skiff guard, and a couple of other blasters. So we'll see if I can match them up with some of my loose figures. I don't know if there's anything else in here, honestly. That seemed like a very big box for just that. But yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, there's nothing else in there. Kind of weird. Probably would have been cheaper for him to just put it in an envelope. But hey, whatever. Okay, so that will do it, guys, for this episode. It's, again, not a hugely crazy episode, just a update on things that are going on. And as I said, there's a lot of, you know, I had a great comment. Somebody was saying that I, you know, collect to, you know, grab onto my childhood. I have a lot of my childhood. A lot of it's represented right here. A lot of it is in that room. A lot of it's in that room. I'm okay with it, and you know, I do like to. I'm excited to share out my collection, sell it off. Not all of it, but some stuff, and you know, make room, consolidate, and try my hand at different parts of the fandom. So, thanks so much for watching, guys. Check me out on Instagram and Bluesky and Facebook, Darth Tuba's unboxing page on Facebook. And thank you, Red 5 Network, for always supporting the channel. You can find other great content on the Red 5 Network. Until next time, folks, may the Force and the toys be with you.